Hey guys, today I chose to do an NFL expansion team. I chose the London Knights. The reason I chose the London Knights is because the NFL is looking to expand its Spandex League to outside the borders of the United States, and a city that they talked a lot about is London. And so I thought it'd be fun to do an expansion team here. So I chose the London Knights. Our mission statement is going to be our mission is to expand the game of football to London, England, growing the game of football to a worldwide audience. Our goal is to educate and give international fans and players the best unique experience in the National Football League. So a lot of people in London don't know the game of football very well. So a big step in us growing the game will be to teach people how to play it and to be very educational, and it will lead to more fans coming to our games and knowing what's going on. Another thing is the unique experience. So looking at other sports leagues overseas, like soccer, has a very exciting audience, and we want to bring that type of feel to the NFL. Next, our vision statement. Our vision is to bring the game of football to the local community in London, creating a new, exciting culture to the NFL. Fan engagement is our top priority. We will pursue the next generation of fandom in the NFL. So our most top priority is just to be in the local community, to be for fans to be engaged, just to make sure that our presence is there. One thing is we're going to be a new organization, so we don't have any history. So it's going to be important for us just to get in new people to the game of football and just to introduce them to the game we all know and love. Next, we have the planning stage. So the first thing is to hire the president of football operations. So someone that oversees just basically the whole organization and someone that just reports to the owner. Next, we want to hire the GM and the head coach. So the general manager, he'll be looking for players and he'll set up the team. And then the head coach, we want him to hire his coaching staff and just to get all those position staffs ready. And then thirdly, when there's an expansion in sports leagues, they have an expansion draft to where teams can only lock up a certain amount of players, and then the rest are available for expansion drafts. So we'll do that and then look for free agent players to build our roster. The next will be is planning social media team. So first we got to hire a media person, then a head media person. Then we need to hire the social media coordinator, someone that's like overseeing all that's going on all of our medias, running our Instagram, our Twitter, our TikTok. Next, we want to get youth and old ads engagement team. So this is something to where we can come together probably weekly and just have a team that gathers information on what social media sites are being the most beneficial for the younger generation and then also for the older generation, just so we can get the best out of our ads and just engaging with the community. Then we're going to have a local community fan culture coordinator. And this is something that I came up with. I don't know if it's a real position, but it's something that I think is going to be important for our London team, is just to make sure that we have a community that is back behind us. So we're going to have people that go to local sports bars and restaurants and supports local businesses, just so we can get our community behind our football team. The next we'll have is planning football operations. So we need to get a head equipment manager just for the players and just to make sure all their equipment's ready. Then we need to get a practice and game film coordinator so that each of their practices and games are filmed so that players can watch after practice and after games. We need to get a medical staff so that players, if they have injuries or bruises or anything like that, they can go to the staff. And then we need the strength and conditioning staff so that our players can develop and become better athletes at our program. The next thing is we need to organize the stadium and travel planning. So the first thing we need to do is approve a football stadium in the city of London. There's two options that a lot of owners do in professional sports leagues. One is just buying the stadium personally with the amount of money they have. The second option is to take it to a vote, and the city can choose to split costs with the owner. So then it comes more like a public public stadium that can be used for concerts and fun events like that, not just for football. The next thing is to set up travel flights for overseas games. So being from London, this is going to be a big deal. We're going to have to focus on our sleep schedules for our players so that their meridian, or what is called, their sleep schedules aren't messed up. And then we're also going to have to figure out just scheduling games, how to just play an away game, and then if we have a home game the next week, just to make sure either if we should go early, if we should go the day of, just to see what's the best option for our players. The next is to set up weekly team and staff schedules, so just to make sure everyone's on the same page and we know what we're doing. Next, we have to organize players. So plan off-season and season schedules. So that's going to be like strength and conditioning, mini practices, mini camps, type stuff like that. Then for in-season, we're going to have to plan our weekly schedules. That's going to be something that the coach and the general manager are going to have to figure out. Purchasing on game day hotels and buses before the games. That's going to be important just because one thing that NFL teams do is sometimes they'll actually have their players stay at hotels even if they're in home games so that every game feels the exact same. So that's going to be a big, important step in our process. Next, we're going to have to set up our season ticket holders. That's going to be something we're going to need to figure out how we're going to sell them, what are the benefits going to be of them. Set up a game day fan experience, like maybe like tailgating. Just create an exciting experience. I think an important thing in our program is to create an experience more like soccer. We just want our fans to be just crazy and just different from just the regular American fans you see in the NFL. Then we need to figure out how to get the games into local TV markets and local sports bars. So just making sure that our games are broadcasted in our area. That's going to be another thing, just talking with the TV deals and sponsors just to get our players more marketed. And then here we got our operations hierarchy. So this is just for the business side. And so this owner, president, business managers, employees. And in this image, we have the Patriots owner and coach, and just their Super Bowl presentation. And I thought they were just a good example of their hierarchy and their system. It's just probably the best in the NFL. Something we want to emulate. The next thing we have is leadership football hierarchy. So this is just the football side of it, no business side of it. We want our owner, general manager, head coach, medical staff, assistants, and then the last is the water boys. Then we need what is the social media team leadership. We need the owner, social media coordinator. We need TV marketer, social media person, and then any interns that we'll have just for our social media team to be on point. And then how are we going to evaluate our team? So every day is going to be an evaluation in our culture. We want it to be a very competitive culture. Our team's going to be very new age and go by analytics, similar to how the LA Rams are run. It's very much on just new analytics, not very old school and just like It's more about stats and how are we going to be the most efficient in the ways we do our things. We want our team to be aggressive. So like on fourth downs, one of our emphasis is going to be for our coaching staff is just to be aggressive because that's a fun game to watch. And so being a brand new sports team, that's going to be very important so that we keep fans engaged and have just a fun time, because it's not fun to watch boring conservative games. So that's going to be one of the big ways we grow our fan base. Next, we have the draft evaluation. So in the draft, the number one thing we're going to look for is talent. And the reason I had put talent at number one is just because as a new team and just as a team in the NFL, talent is one of the biggest things, because we need to bring that to be able to compete, and we need to be able to just be at the top of the league. And so that's going to be our number one evaluation, just how good is this player. Our second thing is going to be character / hard worker. So if you're not like the most talented person, we want to make sure that you're a good team chemistry person. And even if you are the talented person, we want to make sure you're a team chemistry person, that you're hard work, you show up on time, because if you're talented but you're not a hard worker, we don't want you on our team. The third thing is going to be discipline. So kind of like the second one, but just making sure they show up to things and everything. And fourth is more of an attribute. We want our team to be fast. And this is something that goes with just playing aggressive, is we want our team to be fast-paced, just a fun brand of football. And then lastly, this is for our management side of the football organization. We're going to look for educated, well-rounded individuals who add to our culture and can win each day. So that's going to be very important. It's just that each person comes in just like any of the players or coaches do, but with a competitive mindset. I think one of the cool things we'll do is we'll have a ranking system with salary bonuses to keep a competitive work environment. But I think this is one thing I added is we'll also have a team player of the month, somebody who maybe didn't do the best statistically, but they contribute in other ways, like maybe like carpooling, or maybe someone needed help and so they stayed longer with them. Just doing little things that are extra that maybe don't go on the statistical side, but are just like very critical to our organization and our culture, something that we need. So we'll have that just to make sure it's a fun environment and that it brings chemistry to our organization. And so that's going to be all for our sports team. Hope you guys liked it. Thank you. Have a good day.